This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. All right, kids. There's a new poll that produced a list of things that make office workers lose their cool. And chances are at least one sets off you guys, too. So I'm wondering, do you guys wanted to see if you can tell us what you get pissed off at the office about and see if it's on the list? What do you think? Anybody, you guys courageous enough?
You know what? The stupid printer not working.
Okay.
Like, the fact that I'll have to go in there and I'll have to turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, and just hope and pray that it just starts.
Oh, you have to double IT crowd it, huh?
Every once in a while, yeah.
Oh.
And the entire building knows about it because we don't have soundproof studios, and then all of a sudden we hear F and it's Rev.
Yes, he's not saying fudge.
Nope.
No.
I'm like, oh, well, the printer's broken this morning.
Yeah. It's the number 4 thing on the list, Rev. Congratulations.
Oh, good for me.
Everybody's got that problem at the office, which really makes me wonder if it's happening so much that it's making a top 10 list around all the offices in the country, for, I guess, with the people who are still working in offices. I mean, people need jobs. Why not have a full-time, hey, man, here's someone that can quickly fix it guy?
Wait, so is it specifically the printer not working is in the top 10, or is it like computer issues?
It's literally the printer is not working. Number 4 on the list.
Wow. Yeah, so you know there's a whole bunch more tech stuff.
Oh, yeah. Saturday just asked the Rev, and he's like, here's what it is.
Right?
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Because me, it'd be like the slow computer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think the number one is having to work on a Tuesday after a 3-day weekend. Like, we need to stop that.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's boy, that's actually number 0.5 on the list. No, yes, that's not on the list.
It should be.
It's the computer. The only thing I see on the list about computers that I'm looking at real quickly is when your computer decides to do an update at the worst time.
Oh, man.
That's at least like twice a month happens to me because I got to set up my computer. I got my like little Microsoft Surface thingy, and it's like updates about to happen. I'm like, not now. Can we snooze it? And like, yes, you've been snoozing it for a month. Now you have no choice.
Well, there's your problem.
I never go around to doing it, and then I forget about it until 5:55 in the morning.
Right?
And they're like, you got to do this now. And I'm like, well, son of a bitch.
I don't understand because, I mean, on my computer, my phone, I have them set, please update at night, like update overnight, and it says it will do it, and then I wake up the next day, it goes, are you ready to update your phone? No, you were supposed to do it when I was sleeping. Dude, the same thing with my computer. It does not do it when it says it will.
My phone has that right now where it keeps saying it's going to update this stupid update at night. So I'm like, all right, who am I to tell you when to do it? But if that's when you want to do it, go ahead. And then the next day, it's still saying that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's same thing with my computer. So number 7 on the list, by the way, nobody should ever say this.
Okay.
Because your life will be miserable if you do.
Oh, it's got to be something with IT.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, don't F with IT.
No, we have the greatest, most amazing IT department.
No doubt about it.
Actually, I mean that with no sarcasm.
Yeah.
I do like our IT guys, but like, I would never tell you if I didn't.
Oh, dude, I made that mistake.
You? No.
Yeah. Oh. Dude, think about this, though. I mean, this is to the level of get back. That it wasn't the IT department, it was the engineering department at a radio station. This was, over 25 years ago at least. And, dude, I was at a remote. And it was a big remote. They charged a lot of money to have us broadcast live from this place. We were the morning show. And it did not work. It was like we couldn't figure it out. Nothing could go on. And the engineer was just like, the engineer on site, the head engineer wasn't there. And then it did not work. There were all sorts of problems. It was a nightmare. And then when I got back to the station, the head engineer said, yeah, next time maybe you should watch what you say about engineering.
He did not. Whoa.
Yeah, he did.
It was like a crime boss? Like it's like
he was
IT mafia, man.
He was like, dude, you know what? Because I would complain and I would go to people because I didn't think he was doing his job very well back in those days.
Oh, and he caught wind of it.
And, well, yeah, he got wind of it all right because he hurt me. And so he waited for that moment. And I'm like, here I am looking at him going, sure, I look bad, but really the station looks bad. I mean, because I'm not in charge of engineering. So, and I remember going to my boss going, I just got I basically got Tony Soprano by this guy. Why is he still working for us? And that's when I found out that, well, in our business, it's not easy to come across engineers. So basically, you know what? They can get to be Tony Soprano. They get to, they have all the power.
And then sometimes you get those unicorn engineers all show up with donuts every Friday.
Oh, God, yeah.
I don't know where that guy is, but man.
Yeah.
I pour one out for him every weekend. A donut.
You pull one out for him? What?
Pour one out.
You
pour one out for the homie.
I see. I liked him with his donuts. I don't know if I'd pull one out for him.
Yeah, especially when I'm holding a donut hole.
Yeah, excuse me?
Yeah.
So,
exactly
all right, Vicky, what irritates you most about the workplace? What pisses you off?
When people cook something that's really just stinky.
Fish.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like, I don't mind if it smells good. I get a little jealous. But if it's stinky, like it does not smell good, it's like, dude, what are you doing? Same as if someone leaves something stinky in the bathroom, we could smell it in the hallways.
Okay. So
that's just human nature.
Yeah. It's leaking out into the hallway. I'm not upset with him. I'm just upset with the situation.
I don't know what you can do about that, unless they put the bathrooms in a way that it really can't get to us. That would be nice.
There's a lady left poopery in our bathroom, so we have poopery in the girls' bathroom.
Well, no,
you still got to know how to use that, though.
Yeah, you just spray it in the toilet before you go.
I didn't know that at first. I was spraying it in the air like it was Lysol. And my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm using the poopery like you told me to. And
That's
she's
not
like,
how you do it, yeah.
Did you even bother to read the directions? I'm like, why would I read the directions of something that has a spray bottle? I just assumed you spray it.
That's the problem with poopery.
Too, man.
Yeah, that is the problem with poopery, is the fact that it comes in, it looks just like what we know how to use.
Like a cologne
therefore, why would we use it differently?
Yeah. I have a big thing that says, warning, you're using it wrong.
Yeah, they really needs to have a sign on it. So you go, why is there a sign on this? And it's go, so Vicky, it's your job to make a sign for the poopery.
All right.
No, I think you got to spray it on your butt before you sit down. So no, I'm kidding. She didn't do that. That would be funny, though.
Dirty toilets are on the list. And, I mean, do you clean up after yourself? I feel like if you get up and survey the situation, because I'm like, how did somebody go to the bathroom there? If I sit on a toilet, there's no way I should be able to go to the bathroom where this person just went to the bathroom. Because I'm actually on the toilet, and this person somehow has gone he's gone where no one has gone before.
Well, a lot of times people stand using the toilet and they don't pull the toilet seat up, and they just don't care about whatever spray.
I'm talking about other things, Steve.
Right? Yeah, I figured you were.
I'm talking about collateral damage.
Well, then sometimes people don't want to sit on it; they want to hover.
Oh, good call. Thank you. Oh yeah, the hoverers need to be banned. Because you cause so much just destruction by hovering if you're doing that.
In college, they used to do that where you'd actually climb up and hold up at the top part of the stall. And it was called remember the game Battleship? with a P.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. And
No,
that was
that's
a game.
no.
You're playing
we
poo-poo
can't-
bombardiers over there.
Pretty much. I didn't
That's
play
not-
that game. I was way too mature to play a game like that.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Some of the guys on my floor did do that, and I was like, guys, come on.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's your dirty toilets for you. That's why it's on the list.
I don't know if that's what they're doing in the public toilets, but even like in ours, the urinal.
It's incredible to me how much people miss the urinal.
I don't understand that. It's a
That's a
giant,
pretty big target.
right? Like I don't even want to know what you're good at when it like. How did you like? Especially somebody like I'm like. I bet you don't have any children because your aim is terrible.
Yeah. And you got to know. You also have to know your equipment. You really have to know, by this time of your life, you should really know how your equipment operates, the firing angle, all that stuff. You have to know that. You can't be all of a sudden, I missed, you got to go, okay, you know what, my equipment goes this way, that way, and so I have to make the adjustments, I have to set the telemetry, all of that, in order to make it right.
It did happen to me once. I was guilty of it once because I sneezed, and it just, oh no! And it was like one of those sneezes where it just kind of came out of nowhere and hit you fast, and you didn't have a chance to even like prepare your body for it. So it's like, and it's like a fire hose.
Like an unmanned fire hose. Oh my God. The visual.
But see, you're a guy that you don't hold on to the firing mechanism, I think. You're
I'm on my phone while I'm doing this.
Yes.
I'm playing Sonic the Hedgehog.
That wouldn't happen if you would basically always keep one hand on the wheel, sir. Okay? I mean, you know what?
I'm more of like a, Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah. And that's why
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Did you at least...
Yes, I cleaned up after myself.
Good job. You know
Thank
what? What a guy. Or is that what you're at least going to say for the radio?
Dude, I'm the idiot that sometimes will even like clean up, like if I go to the gym and someone's missed like nothing like gnarly like you were talking about, but number one, I'll like grab like toilet paper, wet it down, and like trying to clean up a little bit because I'm like, man, this is just
what a guy.
It takes a village.
It really does. Yeah, I mean, I try to clean up as much as possible. Sometimes after people, it really, because again, like you said, someone else is going to walk into that.
But I'm also going to use that toilet as well. I'm not like going to all the stalls and just like some like,
oh yeah,
like oh my God, this is my crime fighter thing. I'm like, I'm the guy. Yeah. I'm the toilet cleaner.
I feel like if you do that, you might as well just be called an employee at this point. You know what I mean? You're working for the cleaners,
right?
All right. So how about you, Rev? What do you hate at the work?
The printer.
The printer. Yeah. I mean, Danny, I should say. Danny, what about you? Besides all of us, what else do you hate at the workplace?
It takes a lot for me to lose my cool, but I think the biggest thing for me is when it's just like you're randomly walking in the hall and you hear just like people having the weirdest conversations, and you're just like, and then they try to include you in them, and it's like, I don't need a small talk right now. I'm just trying to leave.
Yeah, mine. I hear you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're necessarily inappropriate, but that's number 5 on the list. Inappropriate work conversations.
They're inappropriate for me because I don't want to deal with talking to them. Yeah.
Is there any conversation? He's like, I want to be out of here.
Yeah, small talk. Why do we need that in the hallways here? I don't get it.
Danny, do you like reading the Bible? Like, why are you asking me this question?
Wow. Yeah, that's...
See, mine is... And I don't mean it to be rude, but like sometimes, like you get like a small, and I'm sure people have this. It could be relative. Like maybe you have like a small window of time to have a little bit of a break from your actual job, and you just want to be left alone. And there's always that one person at the workplace that wants to come up and like talk your ear off while you're just trying to have that like, I just want to be in my own little world for like 5 minutes.
Yep.
And now you want to ask me why I'm eating eggs for breakfast. And I'm just like, come on. Like, we had this conversation like 2 months ago. Like we're having the same conversation again. Like, yes, I'm eating the same thing I ate 2 months ago. Like, please stop.
And again, the open workplace really does that.
You don't want to be rude and be like, dude, leave me alone. So like then the next thing you know, you're like, now I got to go back to work.
You used to be able to go hide in your office, that's why it was good, or at least in your cubicle somewhere where, the walls were high enough that people, would go like, all right, I'm not going to go intrude. And we don't have that anymore. And with these open workplaces, you have no privacy anymore. You still need privacy. I mean, if I'm sitting at a social area, then it's on me. But if the whole workplace is a social area, where do you go? I mean, do I have to eat in the toilet? Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe that's why they're so dirty, because I'm having my banquet in there.
So the thing that makes me lose my cool at work is when they call 4:00 meetings on Fridays.
Okay, why would they do that? That's insane.
Yeah.
That's just... Whoever's in charge is an idiot. You just don't do that.
Unless it's a quick meeting to say, everyone go home.
Yeah, could have been an email. 4:00. Sure, your work is done. Here's a raise. Here's a bonus. Yes, Steve. Yeah, here's some cupcakes.
Mandatory meeting, 4:00. Y'all show up and you just hand out chocolate bars and say, go home. Enjoy your weekend. I'm like, that's the best meeting ever.
Yeah. Number one, I have to say, is me. Hopefully it's not so much me anymore, but it definitely was me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it definitely me for pretty much my whole career, I have to say.
Angry dude.
Angry dude. That would fall into this.
Angry coworker.
Exactly, coworker.
That also falls into this. It's a much nicer way of saying it. Unreasonable colleagues.
Oh, I was going to guess coworker who puts a sponge in the microwave and doesn't take it out.
Ew.
Very specific. You got to clean that sponge, Rev, especially around here, which, by the way, that's number 10 on the list, leaving dirty cups or bowls around.
No, everyone does that here.
Yeah, but I'm the one that I actually cleaned up the dishwasher after having not been in the building for a long time. When I got back, I was like, this place is like the apocalypse.
Yeah, but you left a dirty sponge in the microwave and didn't take it out.
It was an accident.
Twice.
It's a double accident. But at least I was cleaning that sponge. I was like getting rid of whatever thing was on there.
The only pet peeve I have about that is the people, I don't know who it is, but there will just occasionally be like a bowl in the drainer that is dirty. Like it's just still dirty and like stuff stuck to it. I'm like, you didn't wash it. You just put it there. What is that?
Yeah, that's why. And nobody really flipping the dirty clean sign on the dishwasher to the point where nobody knows what's going on. You know,
I just don't use the dishwasher. Yeah, I just wash my own things.
I don't trust the dishwasher, but I'm with you. Like sometimes you even go in the cabinet and you grab a dish and there's still like chunks of food on it. And I'm like, did you just like turn your head and put the food under the water and then just put it in there and that's good enough?
Yeah, the dishwasher solve was easy. You just wash them again no matter what. You go, okay, this looks pretty full. I'll put more stuff in here. Even if they're clean, I don't care. Then we'll know for sure they're clean. And then I had to run around the building and tell everybody because nobody would believe it. So I went and told everybody the dishwasher is really clean. We just did it. So you're back to normalcy. You can trust the sign again. Now, I don't know, though. I don't know if we can trust it anymore again because it's been a while since I've done it. But that's number 10 on the list. And that's the dirty cups and bowls. And that really gets me. That's my number one. I'm just like, come on, people.
See, I'm more of I get annoyed when people just leave their stuff. They just put it in the sink and then they just leave it there. I'm like, oh yeah. Who do you think is cleaning this for you?
Yeah,
do you think your mom's going to swing by and do your dishes for you here at work? Because if that's the case, cool. But if not, then you just assume a coworker is going to do your dishes.
Now, I'm a soaker, so I will do that and leave stuff there.
That's a personal thing we ask you never to share on the air.
Yeah, it's what I like to do in my free time, also with my dishes.
Also, the people that don't understand that we don't have a garbage disposal here, and they just throw their entire...
that's insane.
We have a sign.
With a giant sign that says there is no garbage.
Yes, but then you could also just look, and everyone's like, I'm going to throw, like huge old chunks down there and it gets backed up and it's like, okay.
I put that on management though. How did you not get a garbage disposal?
But they didn't, and they put a sign that says we don't have one. At that point, you're an idiot.
Yeah. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. There are idiots, and who's got to pay to unclog the plumbing? Right? I don't know. If it's not us, then it doesn't matter. But it's just like you cannot trust that people will read a sign because we're animals. We are just animals as creative. That's what we are. We're lizard brain creatures when it comes to working together and taking care of our own cups and bowls.
You know what's one of the times, it doesn't make me lose my cool, but I always roll my eyes when I see it. When you open up the refrigerator and there's like somebody's sandwich and they make it a point to like put like this super like a passive aggressive note on it that says, "This is Jonathan's sandwich, don't eat." And I'm like, I wasn't planning on it, but I kind of want to now. Like, I wasn't going to eat it because it's not my sandwich. I assumed it's somebody else's. Like,
here's the thing, though. Somebody would eat it if they didn't put that sign up there.
The person who's willing to eat it is going to eat it regardless and probably leave the sign in there.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? Like,
okay, if that happens, there will be an investigation.
But if you're a douche enough to eat somebody else's food, the fact that you labeled it your food, I don't think that's like, I was going to eat this random person's sandwich, and I found out it was Jonathan's. And I like Jonathan, so I won't.
So you wouldn't think, oh, Jonathan's on to me, so you won't touch it? That's what I would think by putting that sign. Is like, all right, pal, I'm on to you. You're eating my food. I don't know who you are, but here's a sign. Now you know that I know, and I will take further steps.
Maybe they already dealt with somebody eating their stuff, and they think,
that's with that. Jonathan has dealt with that. Whoever Jonathan is, you don't put a sign up like that unless someone's eaten your stuff before. It definitely sounds like someone who's butthurt.
Well, the troll in me really wanted to eat it at that point.
You should have. I would have supported you. You could, because you just go legally change your name to Jonathan and go, my name is Jonathan. I just thought I left that there and forgot. Dude, you got to do what you got to do to keep the troll alive.
And then leave a little note that says, sorry, Jonathan, I was hungry and ate it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
We need like a surveillance camera just to see Jonathan lose his mind at that point.
How do you know we already don't have one? Yeah, buddy. There's a really cool Netflix special that just came out on the late Norm Macdonald, and Adam Sandler shares a great story about where Norm would hide his money. You're going to hear it at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Netflix just began streaming comedian Norm Macdonald doing a run-through of what would have been his final stand-up comedy special.
Have you seen any of like the trailers and the teasers for this?
No, I haven't.
It's kind of trippy because it just looks like he's filming like a podcast because he's got like his big headphones on, holding a microphone. And then when you pay attention and you actually watch it, you're like, oh crap, he's just doing like a run-through of what would be a stand-up special, like him talking in front of a crowd, but he's just doing it by himself, talking into the video camera.
Yeah, and he never got a chance to perform it live because, of course, he passed away due to cancer. And the special is called Norm Macdonald, Nothing Special. And it's Norm, like you said, sitting in a room, holding a microphone, headphones on, and he's just going through the set. And the wild thing is that he did this all in one take.
Yeah.
And here's a clip from it.
I love doing gigs, and I miss it. You know, especially casinos. Those were my favorite gigs because I'm a degenerate gambler, as it turns out. And I think the casinos know that. Often they'll pay me in chips, which I find that's not nice.
I love Norm. It's weird hearing like a lot of his things. Like I'm trying, like, you know, when you listen to it, like this is like so weird. But it's like part of what made Norm great was the reaction of the crowd when he would say such random, ridiculous crap. Like when we had him at the Comedy Right, when we did those comedy shows at the Paramount, and he did one of them, and it was just, I think I was more entertained by the fact that some people were very confused why this guy is a comedian.
They had no idea how to react to him.
And I thought it was the funniest thing because of that.
Yeah, there's that. I don't know if it's awkward comedy, whatever, but yeah, he was so good at that. And it just goes to show you that when you're at a comedy club or if you're at a movie and you got the crowd responding, it makes it better.
Oh, yeah. And you can tell, really, like, there's certain parts that he has, like, these pauses where, like, he knows his audience well enough to know that, like, they're going to enjoy this part. So he takes those pauses. But, like, when you just listen to it without a crowd, without a reaction, you're just like, where's the punchline now? Yeah,
it's very weird. It's like, you know, when they show you a sitcom without the live studio audience or the laugh track, it is a little, you know, bizarre.
But then you see him live, you're like, this guy's a brilliant comedian. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah. It's wild. And, so the cool thing about this is that after he finishes his run through, his image fades on the screen, and then and you realize that it's being viewed by David Letterman, Dave Chappelle, Molly Shannon, Conan O'Brien, Adam Sandler, and David Spade. So they're all watching
any of those guys. Those
are some people. Okay. They may have done something. I don't know. I know you might have to Google them. And so they all then discuss what they've seen. And Norm's joke about being paid in casino chips reminded Adam Sandler of a time that he was at Norm's apartment back in their SNL days.
And I said, "You got any soda?" And I open up his fridge, and I swear to God, $25,000 worth of Atlantic City chips are in his fridge. And I go, "What's this?" He goes, "Oh, I won big." I said, "Well, why didn't you cash it in, buddy?" He goes, "Well, I brought it here so I could talk to Bernie Brillstein to see how I don't have to pay taxes on it." So I go, "Oh," and he goes, yeah, so I got to bring it back Monday. And he told me no matter what, I got to pay taxes. So, it didn't work out there. So whatever, I go, "Oh, that sucks." So anyways, I see him at Saturday Night Live on Monday. I go, "Did you cash it in?" He goes, "I lost it all."
So that he can avoid taxes, right?
So how about he kind of might have been a degenerate gambler?
I think he wasn't joking about that.
It's wow. And that he did get paid in chips. But you never know. You don't know if he thought maybe that was a scheme that he could get out of paying taxes. So he's like, "Yeah, pay me in chips." Thinking that, and maybe he wasn't a degenerate gambler. You just don't know with Norm. You just don't know.
Well, David Spade also at some point also said Norm told him that he kept the chips in the fridge because he said, "Well, the robbers, when people rob you, they're not going to look in the fridge."
Very, very interesting point.
Yeah, I would think that even the I guess fridge or freezer. Like, I'm not going to be like, if I'm robbing someone's house, be like, "Well, I wonder what they've got in their produce part of their fridge."
Yeah, unless you're hungry. But usually you're in a rush and you're not thinking about food. That's a pretty good idea. Now everybody knows that trick, so I can't use it.
Well, you could probably keep an old box of something, like the old box of waffles, and just put all your cash in the waffle box.
It's not a bad idea, actually. Don't give Sarah any ideas, because she's the one that hoards her checks.
You're going to be hoping you get a waffle. It's like, what is this money? I don't want this. I want a waffle.
I don't need $60. I need a waffle.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it. It's a Norm Macdonald run through, and if you're a big fan of Norm Macdonald, I'm happy that they released this. Plus, you get to hear some of his peers and contemporaries and comedy greats comment on him, as we tragically lost him too early. And that's on Netflix.
I wonder, did he? I don't know if it's out there. I haven't done any research on this. My apologies, but I wonder if he sent this to Netflix to be like, "Hey, this is the special that I'm going to be doing," or was it like someone that's a beloved person in his life had. He sent it to them, be like, "Hey, what do you think?" And they're like, "You know what? I bet Norm wouldn't mind if we put this out there for people to see." Or did he have it, knew that he was his last days? You know what I mean? Like, what's the backstory behind them even having this special or this dry, this dress rehearsal of a special ready to even put out there on Netflix?
Yeah, a lot of people love behind the scenes stuff. 20, 30 years ago, this might have been a big debate. Should we do it? It's not how he wanted it. But now I think people love to see rough cuts.
Dude, I love demos from Danny. I don't know if you're the same way, but whenever they put out a special box or a deluxe edition of whatever record, and it's like, the next 7 tracks are the demo versions of the songs that you heard on the album. I'm like, this is so cool.
Oh, it's the best because you can almost hear the how it was came together to be the final product.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have when I thought I wanted to be an artist, and I went to my friend's apartment who was an artist, and I was sort of for a mentoring thing, and to see 10 different copies of the final piece that he did.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't want to be an artist. I don't have the kind of patience to do that. Talk about demos and rough cuts and everything. This guy painted the same thing 10 times until he got it the way he wanted it. And I'm like, okay. So, but I think a lot of people would be fascinated to see if you're a fan of that artist. Would have been like, let me see all the rough did. Let me see the first stuff.
Well, I remember many years ago, back in the day when my old band, we were playing a lot of shows with the band Harvey Danger, and Aaron, who's no longer with us, sadly, incredible dude, the bassist. He was a good bud of mine, and when they were making their next record after their first one did so well, now they're on a major label, and he was sending me the demos of what they were doing, and I'm like, this sounds amazing, and then. But it was so weird to hear, then eventually they put out the record. I'm like, this sounds nothing like the version you originally sent. And he's like, oh, we tweaked this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, oh man, like both versions are great, but I think I might like this version better. You know, it's crazy to hear those kind of things. So like to see like the creative process. That's why I always enjoy that. I think this would be a really cool special to check out for that reason. And on top of it, the fact that he had all of his contemporaries and his peers watching it, and you get to hear their stories after the fact. Like, what a cool way to end this quote unquote special, or as they call it, not a special, or nothing special.
And I wonder if that's what he was going to call it. Anyway, because it sounds, it is nothing special as far as like it's not the final version, but I really feel like that would have been the name of the special because it's a great play on words from Norm. And again, it's basically Norm's last performance trial run through since he passed away before he got to do the real show on Netflix. It's on now. And like Steve said, there's cool people, talking afterwards and sharing their experiences with Norm, a lot of great comedians and stars. And it's on Netflix right now.
I said that I worked at a house south of Leschi. I was broken into. The only thing that the people took were the wine out of the fridge.
Oh boy!
I guess we can't. Well, no one took waffles though, so I think we're okay keeping.
Okay, so you're saying the waffle box will be okay.
Nobody's gonna steal toaster waffles.
You say that, but you know what? Lego my ego. If it's Eggo brand, you all bets are off.
Or was that Kodiak one?
Yeah. Those high protein ones. Oh, my wife loves those.
Are they good?
Especially the chocolate chip ones.
Are they good?
That's again.
They're
crack.
Are they? I've never tried them.
Yeah. But that's interesting because, usually high protein means it's not exactly the same as like the regular carb, because I imagine they're low carb, right?
I don't even know. I got them when I was in Dallas for that wrestling trip, and I was like, I'm going to be way too lazy, and I don't want to waste a bunch of money getting breakfast every day. So I just went to like the grocery store and bought those because I had a toaster in the Airbnb. And I was just eating those I didn't give an opportunity because they were so good.
Did you put syrup on them, or are they good without?
No, they just popped out of the toaster and popped right into my mouth.
Nice. Wow. That says something if you can eat them without syrup. That's pretty good.
I was too late. I was too cheap, and I forgot to buy the syrup.
They also sell like the little cups, and you add water and you put it in the microwave. And you can make yourself like a pancake or a muffin. And they have chocolate chip ones, blueberry ones, and I eat the crap out of those.
I don't know about any of this stuff.
They are legit.
Okay. All right, Vicky, you've turned me onto something I probably shouldn't be eating. Thanks.
Well, they got a lot of protein.
Plus, they're called Power Waffles.
Oh, Power Waffles. So they got a lot of protein, but the thing is with waffles, you want to put syrup on them, which defeats the purpose of the high protein, low carb diet. But I don't know if that's really what it is, or if it's just, hey, you're going to eat this stuff anyway. Let's throw some protein in there.
Yeah, it sounds like willpower for you, though, man.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. To me, the waffles and pancakes, if there's no syrup, it has no attraction to me at all.
They do have.
What about ice cream on your waffles?
Ooh,
there you go.
Yeah, it's not horrible.
High protein, high fun.
Yeah, waffle cone, so it's not out of the ordinary to have a waffle ice cream on your waffle. Makes sense.
Plus,
I still love my syrup.
Yeah, but if it's a warm waffle and a big scoop of vanilla ice cream or whatever flavor you want to do, and who am I to judge? And you just start eating it. Oh, it's amazing because it melts onto the ice cream as well. The ice cream melts onto the waffle.
I take it one step further, and I put like the strawberries that come in a container, the frozen strawberries with the syrup, all over on top of that, and it is legit.
On top of the ice cream, you got the strawberry syrupy thing?
So you got the waffles, strawberries with the syrup, the strawberry syrup, and the ice cream.
Sounds low carb to me.
Is this for breakfast or you guys having dessert?
I have no idea.
All the above. Yeah. Really, are waffles ever not dessert? So.
Yeah, really. I sometimes will have that as my only breakfast. Maybe I'll get some sausage just to make it look like I'm having something else.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Also, I'm bringing up a good point. Like the Norm thing was kind of like a dress rehearsal for a stand-up special, and they said, hey, Michael Jackson's This Is It, available on YouTube, is a rehearsal version of a concert that he was going to do before he passed away, just days before he was going to begin his tour.
Yeah,
I heard that's an amazing thing to watch, too.
It is.
Yeah, that's right. You were the one who said it.
Yeah. You see that? You listened to me. I can't believe it.
Well, I changed my thoughts now.
Oh, hey. All right, fine. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
Which actor played Pennywise the Clown in the TV version of It and Dr. Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Mel Blanc.
No.
Peter Cleese.
No.
I'm going to go with Brandon Tanev.
No.
Go Kraken. Go Kraken.
Who's Peter Cleese?
I have no idea.
Is that John Cleese?
John Cleese's brother?
And then Peter is, his brother that never made it into showbiz.
Peter Dinklage.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Wow, Peter Dinklage and John Cleese, that's the exact opposite. One is super tall and one is not.
Yes.
All right. But I guess, actually the other one is, they're not even both British either, so I'm not sure.
Look, I didn't know the answer. That's the moral of the story is I had no idea. I was just making up names.
You did a great job, though, I have to say.
I didn't.
Well, anyway, we were looking for Tim Curry was the answer. And if you want a shot at beating Steve, well, call Peter Cleese. He'll help you. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. And thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at WeConsiderWA.org.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.